Thank you very much, Stu Colin, at the Met Office after such a superb... Look at these two having a volume competition, see them get the headphones allowed us and burst their eardrums. Well, if you do it, it's your fault. See, it's all going to go wrong now. You see, the engineers are going to start stamping their feet. You see, you let one of them... Right.
That's why they need a mechanic, isn't it?
They need a mechanic, that's what it is. After TT, Dean, when the weather was absolutely cracking the flags, this is such an absolute... Like you said, you can't do an out about it, but for not just you guys here, all them marshals, and all the marshals have had to move their work day round. They've had to take half a day off yesterday, and obviously then it got cancelled and stuff. It must be just an ache for them, mustn't it?
Big time, to be honest, because let's be honest, all the marshals... If it wasn't for the marshals, obviously it wouldn't be happening. So you think they got all their extremes and do what they need to do, and you do appreciate it. It's just a shame that nobody can help the weather. And let's be honest, the weather forecast we just had, I think that was the vaguest weather forecast I've ever had in my life, to be honest. It may rain, it may not rain, it may be sunny, it may not be sunny. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, some of them showers yesterday, boys. You were all at the paddock here about 1 o'clock, and another one at 3 o'clock. That was Bradford weather, that wasn't it? That was in Bradford, the sun always shines. Everybody's got a tan.
Dear Lord. Yeah, it's true, it has been a good summer.
James Hillier, I'm
Hello.
intrigued, okay? So if you look you up on Google, the first thing that comes up is professional motorcycle rider for hire.
For hire?
Oh, yeah. So have you done a lot of film work and things like that?
That's not for riding motorcycles.
Is it not? Is it not? Just other stunts?
For hire.
Not as many as I'd like. That's sort of like it's certainly a step away from the racing, sort of to wind things down a little bit. And I've done quite a lot of production work with Kawasaki on new models and things, and it's quite interesting to see that side of obviously the design and make the motorbike, but a lot of thought goes into the whole perception and story of a commercial and things. So that's sort of a website I had set up to try and sell myself, I suppose, and go a little bit more into that area and stay away. I'm an electrician by trade, and I just want to stay away from that, really. Try and keep off the tools and stay on motorbikes.
I think the ZX6R, when they relaunched that, didn't you do a lot of camera work over here for that?
Yeah, that was the first one. That's sort of what got me in the door, really. Yeah, they needed someone that knew the course, and that was quite surreal. In 2012, that was, and there was 2 particular days where I had the whole mountain closed just for me, and I had a ZX 636 with tire warmers on and a helicopter chasing me across the mountain. So it's definitely, some good opportunities have come from it.
Horst, hands up for a question.
What people don't know is that this job is even more dangerous than the racing, because you have to go behind the car, maybe 30-50 centimeters behind the car, really fast on a twisty road. You can't see anything, or for photo shoot you have to go on the very, very outside of the road, on the white line or somewhere where it's really dirty, on a mountain, and just to take a good picture, and it's a little bit scary.
It's just really, especially we've got that car with the photographer trying to take the photographs with the boot open and the car under sat there. Normally Stephen Davison, the one that's doing it, isn't it? But it's good to get into that side of things, away from the bike ride, to do that and to give something a little bit back and to get your profile out there. Would you ever do something like that, Dean? Something like a motorcycle racer for hire?
It all depends on what it's doing, to be honest. If it's all interesting, like James just said, closing the mountain road and having a raw round is a great idea to me.
It's just a great idea. Have you done anything like that, Michael? Ever promoted yourself for doing like photo shoots and things like that?
No, not really. I was asked to be a model once, but it was for wellies. So
wellies.
Really, that was the only thing. So no, but I've done a lot of work for PB, Performance Bike. And we do a lot over here. We do a couple laps on some bikes. Which
you do a column for them as well sometimes, do you?
No, yeah, we do a bit here and there, but mainly it's just write-ups on new bikes coming out, and we rode that V4 Panigale around here, TT, which you get the whole track to yourself. It's a fantastic job.
It's an honour to be asked to do things like that, isn't it? Like James, the big launch for a massive, massive major brand, Kawasaki, brand new bike, a 636. They come to the most iconic place in the world to test it and to do the photo shoot. And for you to ride the new Panigale, which is just something a little bit great, isn't it? Really, you didn't have great experience on Ducatis around here, but that's another day.
Yeah.
That lovely McCulloch thing, that yellow thing.
That was okay. Yeah.
When it was going.
Yeah, when it was going.
Beth, any more questions coming in? Because we are running out of time.
We have just got a few minutes
Yeah,
left, so if
yeah,
you want to
yeah.
get in touch, please do 166 177 if you want to text. Start your message with TT, or you can email studio@radiott.com. Of course, follow us on Manx Radio TT on Facebook and Twitter. Just excuse the language if we forget that we're on. Carl wants to know about the riders' plans for 2019 on the track and road. Michael, are you looking ahead that far yet?
Yeah, luckily, you know, obviously Bathams, who have been with me for years, we've got a team together and we've got a load of good sponsors. So, you know, we're going to do something next year. I don't know what yet, but, you know, we're trying to put it all together, you know, at the moment. So in the next month or so, we should know roughly what we're doing. But it will be out there somehow or another.
James?
Not yet, no. Just it's sort of getting that time of year where, well, hopefully the phone will ring a little bit and see what the options are. But I'm pretty sure I'll be back here again and hunting Dean down for sure. It's getting that time where people are getting into place. I think it's a kind of an order. World Superbike, we see all the launch press releases now with World Superbike, then BSB riders fall into place, and then we fall into place after with whatever budget's left with teams.
Well, Horst obviously this year has been a bit of a write-off, so you've just started next year with the
Yes.
same bikes as this year with hardly any miles.
Yeah, all bikes are brand new, staying at home, waiting for next year. So same plan.
And Macau, obviously, the end of the year for you.
Yes,
In
that's
November,
now
yeah.
the big race at the end of the year, and then I go to New Zealand. So one bike is on the way to England, going into container for the cemetery circuit. And
That's
yeah,
Boxing Day, is it? Or
Boxing Day. Yeah.
race,
What
yeah.
else will you do on Boxing Day? Cemetery circuit.
Go to the pub and watch football. Anyway, Dino, for next year, you, Clarissa and the team all settled for next year?
Yeah, no, I'm staying with Silicon Engineering for next year, and we're all done and ready to go. To be honest, we'll build a couple of new bikes at the start of the season. Cause I think there might be a new bike out for next year, so that's a bit of a question mark at the minute. And we'll have a raw round.
James is laughing at you. What are you laughing
I
at?
just remembered something.
Oh, no.
Nothing to do with what.
All right, leave it. Go
Probably
on.
should leave that
Yeah,
one.
we would.
Sue has been in touch on the Manx Radio TT Facebook page and wants to know if there are any updates on the future of Scarborough, because Dino, she wants to watch you winning around there again.
To be honest, right, everybody's been asking me this so much this week, and I haven't a clue. Generally, it's just all gone quiet, stopped, and it's a bit disappointing, really, because I didn't mind going up there, and it was such a big crowd up there, and everyone got together, and I did enjoy it, but we'll have to wait and see.
There's a piece of motorcycle news this week. Stevie Davidson's written about it. Something to do that. There's hope that there was a suggestion that there was a group of volunteers were going to get together alongside the Scarborough Council, and they were going to run the event, just the Gold Cup, at the end of the year. Obviously, the one that was cancelled last year, we're going to run that at the end of the year. But there's a lot of work needs doing up there, as in the fences need moving back where the incidents were. There's other things need to be moved around. The rector cells need to be. It's about £90,000 worth of rector cell needs to be put up there and in place, and the fences need to be moved back. So there's a lot of work going to be done. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But hopefully you've got to see it back, because it is, like here, it's one of the most iconic tracks in around the world. Everybody knows Scarborough. As soon as you say Scarborough, you've got a picture there of the slopes and the farm bend straight. Well, that's what I've still got in my head anyway.
No, exactly. I've been there. There's been 50,000 people there.
Bonkers, isn't it?
So it's a shame to lose it, really.
And it inspires the future riders, doesn't it?
No, that's my first ever road race. There's so many people. It's first ever road race to go there, and it just is what it is. Do you know? And I really enjoy it, but I don't know.
Okay, we'll see if it does come back. The guests on the chat show this morning have been Josh Brooks, James Hillier, Michael Rutter, Dean Harrison, Davo Johnson and Horst Seigerin. And, well, gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your Festival of Motorcycling and Classic TT races, and up Derby on Sunday. Who's up Derby on Sunday? Quick show of hands, James. Oh, they're all up there on Sunday. Brilliant. And hope you've got your wet weather gear, because it's going to be...
the weather,
yeah, it's going to be a bit rubbish, to be honest. Thank you very much for Chris Williams for production back at base. Also, thanks to Ben Hartley for sitting in for the last little bit. Thanks to the Met Office team for coming in. Thanks to Alex here for twiddling the twiddly bits. Thanks to Ed, and also to Andy, the engineers. Thanks to, what's his name again?
Ben.
That's Ben. Thanks to Ben as well for running the show and getting the tea. And also thanks to Beth for being here. Tomorrow morning on the chat show, it's Saturday the 25th. We've got John McGuinness, we've got Steve Wynn, Pauline Halewood all coming in. And that's from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll be back later on for the practice reports. Have a good rest of your Friday.